Hi, I am here with a top 10 best and worst Bollywood films of 2019. Now, this is not really the best nor worst films of this year, but these were 5 of the movies I hated the most this year and 5 of the movies I loved the most this year. This year I saw 73 films, but according to the wiki page for Bollywood films of 2019, I only saw 59 films out of 102. And in terms of my movie reactions, I saw 37 of the 49 films I reacted to this year. Most of the movies I haven't seen come from the last 3 months, such as Dabangg 3, The Body, Jabariya Jodi, Panipat, Pagapanti, Pati Patni Orvo. I don't know if they would affect my list, but I have not seen those films as of yet. When it comes to the worst movies this year, I'm sure some people are going to say Student of the Year 2, Ikaladiki Kodeka Toisa Laga, Luka Chupi maybe Bharat, maybe Zoya Factor. They weren't the worst. I mean, like, they were boring, they were time passed, they were a bit annoying, but they were semi-painless. They had some sort of redeeming quality, in which I more gave them a 2 out of 5. But there were 27 movies that I hated more and gave them a 1 out of 5. The number 5 spot was the hardest to fill. I spent a lot of time wondering what movie deserved that position. Should it be Prastanam? Those Sticky Side Effects? Saho? Milan Talkies? Takare? I finally had settled on India's Most Wanted for being bland and boring and casting Arjun Kapoor as an actor who did not act. But then another movie came along, and that movie was Houseful 4. That movie was painful, y'all. I'm sorry. Is it me? Was it me? Was it me? That movie is 2 hours and 20 minutes, and that movie took me 4 hours and a half to finish. For one, it's a comedy, but it's not funny. The quirks and the gags do not land. It felt rehashed, stale, and dry. I laughed twice. They were very short, dry laughs. Neil Nitin or Mukesh. Madhu Bala. Madhu Bala. Madhu Bala. That's all it got. Number 4 is De De Pyar De. I feel like some people will disagree, but for some reason, this movie bothered me down to my soul. I taglined this movie the mysterious marvel of the modern mind. Like, I don't understand. Am I too old? To me, they had a premise, they had a concept, but it was not executed correctly. I don't like Ajay and Rakul Preet together. When a couple breaks up and you don't even care if they get back together and you don't even want them to get back together again, the movie has missed its mark. Their personalities never really complement each other, and I felt like they could find better partners for one another. The way Tabu justifies Ajay's bad behavior as to why he never came to see his children, I don't know. I just did not like it. And when something happened, and again, Tabu said this is why he did it, I was like, Tabu, please, please. It felt very superficial. It felt like a shallow movie when I felt like they could have had some depth with the family relationship, as well as Ajay's and Rakul Preet's characters. Number 3 is Maud Ko Dard Nahi Hota. I feel really bad about this one because it felt like a passion project. It felt like someone who wanted to tribute fighting movies, martial arts movies. The person had a concept, but the concept was ill-conceived and ill-executed. I didn't like any of the actors. I didn't like the writing. I didn't really like the story. And there were way too many fight scenes for me in this movie. Because you know when the hero goes down and you don't want him to get back up so the movie can end? The movie is basically over at that point. Number 2 is Arjun Patiala. This movie is everything it makes fun of, but it's not fun nor funny. From the beginning scene, I could tell this movie was bad, and I knew I had about 2 hours ahead of me. It's the worst feeling. It's the worst feeling. Like, this movie started at a 1 and it never got out of that rating. It started at a 1 and stayed a 1 throughout the entire film. Number 1 is a movie that will surprise you. But for me, it was the most disappointing movie I saw this year. And that was because of one man. I hated the main character in this film. And that character's name and the name of the movie is Kabir Singh. I don't know if you saw my trailer reaction. I don't know if you saw my song reactions. I was very impressed with this movie. I was excited to watch this movie. Could not watch it in theaters. So when I was able to finally watch it on Netflix, joy. But sadly, this movie took me 3 sittings to finish. Not because I had something else to do, not because I was tired, but because this movie wore me out. I was upset. Shahid Kapoor did an amazing job playing this character, but I hated Kabir Singh. He was egotistical, he was conceited, he was conniving, he was a narcissist, he was a misogynist. He's supposed to be the bad boy with the heart of gold, but his heart was made out of coal. He was a bad boy with no redeeming qualities. I don't think the characters were developed correctly. At the point where Shahid told Kiara's character that he loved her, I said to myself, we don't even know enough about her to love her. And we know enough about him, but we hate him. Another thing, I felt like he never accepted his faults. His family justified his bad behavior. His friends supported his bad behavior. And Kiara did not deserve his bad behavior. To the end, I hated that man. Another thing I disliked about this movie is I heard the soundtrack before I saw the movie, and I was disappointed with how they used the soundtrack. I hate when there's dialogue cut between songs. It ruins the momentum of the songs. I hate the way they cut up songs. I hated some of the imagery in some of the songs. My original plan was to watch this movie and then watch the original Telugu version. But when I saw this movie, it deterred me from watching that movie because I did not want to watch a jerk in another language, okay? So Kabir Singh is my worst movie of 2019. On to my best films for this year. There weren't a lot of great movies that I saw this year, but some honorable mentions are Chichore, Mission Mongol, Gone Kesh, Photograph, Mardani 2, War, which is probably the most popcorn action flick that I enjoyed this year, and Music Teacher, which is the Netflix original film that I enjoyed the most. I gave all these movies 4 out of 5. I only had 8 movies that I rated 5 out of 5. The 2 that did not make the list were Hamid and Section 375. Both are great movies to me. Number 5 is The Sky is Pink. I remember when I watched the trailer, I was underwhelmed. And when I listened to the songs, again, I was underwhelmed. The movie did not look that interesting to me. And also, as you know, I did not really want to see Farhan and Priyanka come back in a drama. So I was not really looking forward to watching this film, though I was going to give it a chance. And surprise, surprise, that movie captured me from the first scene. I love the writing. I love the acting. It's very sad that this is going to be Zaira Wasim's last film. She was stupendous in it to me. And it takes a really strong child actor to carry that movie because she has a lot of voiceovers and dialogue. And the character is facing a deadly disease. I really cared about this family. And at the end, it felt like, I don't even want to say drag, but it's just like we were stuck in this sadness for so long, in this unsettling place, but it feels very real to me because I feel what the family is going through. I still state that the songs are the weakest thing about this movie, but the movie itself, scenes, dialogue, direction, acting, everything else is great. Number 4 is Badla. Oh my gosh, did we not love the trailer? Or I love the trailer, and the movie was just as good. That trailer was gripping, and the movie was gripping from beginning to end. It's one thing to do a great job with your trailer because it's short, and all you have to do is keep people's attention for a short period of time. Now we have the movie, and the movie kept my attention for its entire runtime. And not only that, it keeps your attention when most of the dialogue is happening in one room. They're mostly sitting down and talking, and I'm reading everything, and I'm invested in this case. And I think they did a good job with the 2 main or 3 main characters, in which you don't know if you hate this person, especially Taapsee. You don't know if you hate her, you love her, you don't know if she's the villain or the victim. Oh my gosh, it was great seeing Amrita Singh again, and she delivered in her performance. Amitabh Bachchan, he is such a compelling actor, and Taapsee Pannu was also amazing. And I think the thing that also gave it a 5 for me was I fell for the okie doke. I fell for the switcheroos, like that line in the movie, and I know I'm gonna say it wrong, but they gave me the 6 when really I was looking at a 9, and I never saw it coming. Number 3 has 2 movies. I want to keep some credibility even though I'm not a movie reviewer or a movie critic. Some people are not going to like my pick, so I picked 2 movies. One of them is Article 15. Article 15 was fantastic, y'all. Ayushmann Khurrana, this was his best movie this year. I love the setting. I told you in another video, I love some of the cinematic choices. I love the way this movie looked. I love the way it flowed. I love the tension that was in the movie. I love the dialogue. This movie felt like if it was a book, it would be on Spark Notes because these characters would have analysis written about them. This movie has themes within itself. It's a movie in which you're not just reading the dialogue, but you're reading in between the lines. And I love that about this film. The other pick for number 3 is Calanque. I love this movie. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. Calanque was fantastic to me. If you watch my movie review, you know I went on a roller coaster with this film, okay? I was high, I was low, I was dancing, I was crying, okay? I was breaking it down and I was breaking down, okay? In that theater. I really enjoyed it. I do understand some of the faults people do have with this movie, but like I said, this is a personal list. And Calanque got a 5 out of me. I don't care. Number 2 is Gully Boy. Like I said about every movie so far, strong performances. Ranveer Singh and Alia Bhatt. Phenomenal, okay? They made these characters real. This was some of the best on-screen chemistry we got this year, y'all. For a movie that is about a rapper. I love this soundtrack. I watched this in the theater and I had a great experience with this film. Number 1 is Yuri, The Surgical Strike. I remember earlier in the year, I go to the Wikipedia page to see what movies are coming out or what have come out. And they also give the top 10 highest grossing films of the year. And at that time, Yuri was number 1. And I said, I'd never even heard of this film. How is it number 1? Was it good word of mouth? Did that many people enjoy the film? Is it based on a South Indian film? And I didn't know at that time. And so when I got the opportunity to watch this movie, it was a thoroughly enjoyable and pleasant surprise of a film. For one, I'm not really a war person, as you may know. I'm not really into action, though I can enjoy an action movie. But this movie is about the action, but they set up the story for you. With an action movie, you need motivation. You need a backstory, and this movie had that. We don't really know any of the other people except Vicky Kaushal, but we care about everyone. As he said, we're all coming back home. And you're like, all of them gotta come back. We care about every one of these soldiers. Let's do what we gotta do and let's make it back home. Sorry, forgive me. But I'm invested in this movie. And even at the point when he's like, how's the Josh? I'm there going, hi, sir. These are the worst and the best movies I saw in 2019. Please comment your best and worst movies of the year. This will probably be the last video you will see from me this year. I am on break from work, and so I am taking a break from editing. Okay, I am going to relax and watch a lot of movies because my Netflix account still has a lot of movies. My Amazon account still has a lot of movies, and I want to get through as many of them as I can. So I will see you guys in the new year. Bye.